Messy tea time. That come right in. I told you that Stefon Diggs and Cardi B was still together. When I saw the grandmother at the concert, I said, they still together. There's no way why she would still be going to the concert if they wasn't together. I was right. You guys in my comment was wrong. They're together. She love it, we like it. It is what it is. I'm still a fan regardless if she with him or not. But they're together. The whole family was at the show. And Stefon Diggs couldn't stop smiling, boy. He was so happy to let the cat out of the hat. He was so happy. He was so, and the mama too. The mama was so happy, like she's the one in the relationship. But you know what? I'm happy for my girl. She's always smiling when she's with him, so it is what it is. We still love you, girl.
Listen, forget everything you think you know about celebrity drama. What happened under the neon lights of DC last night wasn't just a headline. It was a seismic shift that has the digital world in a total chokehold. We aren't dissecting the set list or the guest list. We are dissecting a betrayal caught in 4K, a moment so raw it was never meant for public eyes. By the time I finish this, you'll realize why Offset is currently spiraling in the shadows, his digital footprint screaming with the desperation of a man who's lost his throne. Don't blink, because this isn't just a story, it's a psychological thriller. To understand the wreckage of today, we have to revisit the ruins of yesterday. Cardi B and Stefon Diggs, the industry's most dangerous power couple. They didn't just date, they built a world together, sealed by the birth of baby Brim last November. For a fleeting second, it felt like the cycle was broken. It felt like Cardi had finally escaped the gravitational pull of Offset for something real, something solid. But in this world, solid is an illusion. The cracks formed under the blinding lights of the Super Bowl when Diggs allegedly brought a ghost from his past, another mother of his child, into Cardi's sanctuary. Cardi didn't scream. She didn't offer the internet a tearful monologue. Instead, she delivered a silence so lethal it felt like a funeral. One look, one good luck, whispered with the ice of a woman who had already checked out. When she walked away, we all thought we heard the sound of a door locking forever. We were wrong. This was only the prologue.
I don't know if Cardi B and Stefon Diggs best together, or if this just a grace period, before the baby turned one, when you look at the baby and it reminds you of the baby daddy, it reminds you of the baby mama, you be like, damn, you know what, I might need to go see if we can be a family. But this time he brought his whole family to come see Cardi B in concert, and then after the after party, they done left together, so... But at the end of the day, I would have got my own thing back too, because we ain't talking about Stefon Diggs unless it's attached to Cardi B. And regardless of whatever, we don't even know what happened with that case, did he? Or not, I don't know. All we know is as soon as Cardi B broke up with him, we broke up with him too. But regardless of whatever, I guess they back on. I guess we're going to start back talking about Stefon Diggs. So what's going on with that case? I don't know. But y'all let me know in the comments down below. Do y'all like them reconciling? I mean, Offset going to have to get shot harder. He going to have to try harder if he think he going to ever get Cardi B back. Because she said, baby, I will go back to the nigga that be cheating on me and shit like that before I go back to you. I don't care if you're shot. I don't care what's going on. Y'all, regardless of whatever, y'all let me know in the comments down below. Is y'all happy with this reconciliation? I mean, I'm happy. I want my girl to have her happy ending, whatever that looks like to her. Y'all, either way.
See, that's the enigma of Cardi B. She doesn't follow a script, she rewrites it in real time. What self-destructed in Washington, D.C. last night is the ultimate proof that she is the chaos in the center of the storm. Cardi is currently tearing through her Little Miss Drama tour, and last night, D.C. was the epicenter. The arena was a powder keg, the air thick with anticipation. Even Keisha Cole was spotted in the shadows of the VIP section. But by the time the house lights dimmed, Keisha Cole was a footnote. The atmosphere shifted because Stefon Diggs didn't just walk into the building, he invaded it. And he didn't come alone. Diggs brought the entire bloodline. His mother, his brother, his sister, even his personal trainer. They occupied a fortress of a suite, a united front watching Cardi's every move. Mid-performance, his trainer fueled the fire, posting to Instagram, essentially bowing down to Cardi's stage presence, signaling to the world that they weren't just spectators, they were stakeholders. But the most chilling detail? Hours before the first note was played, Diggs took to his burner account, Big Fish, posting a caption that bled alpha energy. It was a calculated warning, I am coming, I am here, and I will not be ignored. Pause and look at the stakes for this man. Stefon Diggs is navigating a minefield. Rumors of a new secret infant are exploding online. His professional life is in free fall after being cut by the New England Patriots, leaving him a titan without a kingdom. On paper, he is a man drowning in scandal. Yet here he is, bringing his entire family to the sold-out show of the woman he supposedly lost. Is this the ultimate display of romantic confidence, or a cold, calculated chess move to reclaim his territory? Cardi dominated that stage, but don't let the choreography fool you. She knew exactly which suite he was in. She felt his eyes on her the entire night. There is no such thing as a coincidence in a room that small. The atmosphere was already electric, but the after-party? That's where the tension finally snapped. Picture the scene, a high-end DC club, thick with smoke and secrets. Stefon Diggs and his brother are carving through the crowd like they own the air. On the other side of the room, Cardi B is moving through the chaos, drink in hand, radiating a don't-touch energy that felt like a dare. You could feel the gravity shifting. You knew these two orbits were about to collide. When the sun began to rise and the cameras waited outside, the world witnessed the impossible. Cardi B didn't just leave at the same time as Stefon Diggs. She surrendered to the moment. She climbed into his passenger seat, and they vanished into the DC shadows together. The internet didn't just react, it imploded. Fans were grieving in the comments like they'd lost a family member, paralyzed by the sight of her moving on. But honestly, why the shock? The man brought his mother to her show. You don't bring your mother to a performance unless you're playing for keeps. But the real ghost in the machine was Offset. Her estranged husband, still healing from a brutal shooting outside a Florida casino, was watching the footage in real time. His response was a haunting, captionless image of a car crash posted to his story. Some call it a coincidence. I call it a cry for help. Offset is a man standing on the edge, financially drained, battling a public gambling addiction, and fueled by a toxic obsession with a woman who is slipping through his fingers. It's a lethal cocktail of desperation and nothing left to lose. And while he's spiraling, Cardi is out here playing Ice Queen. When a reporter had the nerve to ask her about Offset being shot as she walked to Diggs' car, she didn't even give him a word. She looked through him like he was a ghost. Her face said it all. That man is a stranger to me now. She refused to entertain the ghost of her past while stepping into her future. But just as we thought the story was set in stone, a new bombshell dropped that changed the entire game. Just as the world was processing the image of Cardi B disappearing into the night with Stefon Diggs, a tactical strike was launched from Houston. Reports began to flood the timeline. Stefon Diggs has allegedly just fathered his 8th child. The mother? A woman named Tiffany, a German native who had been living a ghost life in Texas. For 9 months, Tiffany was a vault. No leaks, no baby bump photos, total radio silence. She was protecting him. But the second she saw the footage of Cardi sliding into that passenger seat in DC, the protection ended. She detonated the truth, dropping sonograms and pregnancy reveals like a coordinated military strike right in the middle of Cardi's big night. The implications here are devastating. Remember the ultimatum? A source close to the camp revealed that Cardi B gave Diggs a lethal warning back in February. If one more woman surfaced with a pregnancy, the bridge wouldn't just be burned, it would be nuked. Baby Brim was only born in November. If the math on Tiffany's baby is right, Stefon Diggs was living a double life, running 2 pregnancies simultaneously. The betrayal isn't just a rumor anymore, it's a timeline. Now, the question isn't whether they left that after party together. We have the footage. We saw them move through the crowd, Diggs stalking through the room like a predator, Cardi with a drink in her hand, the air between them thick enough to choke on. We saw her choose him. We saw her leave the world behind to disappear into the DC darkness. But while she was making that choice, Offset was watching from a hospital bed, fresh from the trauma of a shooting, seeing his life's work crumble in a viral clip. The tension didn't just build, it reached a breaking point. Is Cardi B walking into a new beginning, or is she stepping into the most calculated trap of her life? And let's be real, Offset was absolutely spiraling. In the exact moment the footage of Cardi and Stefon Diggs vanishing together went viral, he struck back with a haunting, captionless image of a mangled car wreck. Some fans dismissed it as a random post, but let's not be naive. The timing is a scream into the void. This is a man whose world is caving in, fighting through financial ruin and a gambling addiction that has become public record. Yet he still can't break his fixation on his estranged wife. It's a toxic brew of obsession and pure desperation. When a man has nothing left to lose, he becomes the most dangerous character in the play, and that's the dark reality everyone is ignoring. But Cardi B has already moved into a different dimension. As she was stepping toward Diggs' car, a reporter had the audacity to scream a question about Offset's shooting. Her reaction? It was chilling. She looked at them with a blank, lethal stare, as if they were speaking a dead language. Her face didn't just show indifference, it showed in total erasure of his existence. Who is that man, and why is he your concern? She didn't give him a second of her energy, and frankly, after everything, who can blame her? But just as she was making her escape, the shadows caught up. A psychological bomb detonated in the form of Tiffany, a woman from Germany now living in Houston. For 9 months, Tiffany was a ghost, keeping her pregnancy a state secret to protect Stefon Diggs. But the second she saw Cardi sliding into that passenger seat, something snapped. The protection ended. She chose that exact moment to flood the internet with sonograms and baby pictures, revealing Diggs' 8th child to the world. It wasn't just a post, it was a calculated strike, timed to burn down the very night Cardi and Diggs thought they were reclaiming. This is the moment where the stakes become life-altering. Think back to the ultimatum. A source close to Cardi B confirmed she laid down a brutal line in the sand before the Super Bowl. If one more woman surfaced with a pregnancy, the connection would be severed forever. No exceptions. Baby Brim only entered the world in November, which means if this Tiffany bombshell is the truth, Stefon Diggs was navigating 2 parallel lives, running 2 pregnancies at the exact same time. The question isn't whether they left that arena together. The cameras proved that. The real mystery is, what is the price of that ride? Does Cardi already know about baby number 8? Was this the hidden poison that turned their relationship to ice earlier this year? And yet, despite the warnings and the wreckage, here they are. Again, my take. Cardi B has a psychological blind spot for Stefon Diggs that doesn't exist for Offset or anyone else. When a man shows up with his entire bloodline, his mother in the suite, his sister draped in support, it's a power play. And when Cardi steps into his car at the end of the night, she isn't just taking a ride, she's making a statement. That is the action of a woman who is still hopelessly tethered to a situation, no matter what defiant mask she wears on Instagram. Whether this was a permanent reunion or just a moment of shared weakness in the DC dark, one thing is certain. Their orbits are still dangerously close. The truth is coming, and in this industry, the truth usually burns everything it touches. Now I want to hear from you. Is this a real resurrection of their romance, or does baby number 8 turn this entire story into a crime scene? Sound off in the comments. I'm reading everything.